Hello and a very warm welcome to Sports Today. It gives me an absolute pleasure to introduce one of our best players in squash. 2025, when you look at it, British Open Junior Medal, India Open, Chennai event, and more recently, a wonderful, historic, magnificent World Cup success. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Anahat Singh on Sports Today. Anahat, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us.
Thank you.
Anahat, when you started squash, would you imagine that the amount of success that you had in 2025 with the tournaments that I mentioned, even prior to that, you're winning tournaments on a consistent basis, starting with the British Open, then the India Open, then the Chennai Tour, and then the World Cup. Would you have ever imagined of such a dream year in your career?
Um, this was definitely in mind. Like my main aim, of course, as every athlete, is to win every tournament that they play. But yeah, I don't think I would have expected the fact that I would have won a lot of tournaments that I won as of now. And yeah, I'm really glad that I was able to.
Anahat, let us go to the World is truly, truly historic because you're now part of an ensemble squad that has managed to win a World Cup for the very first time. A couple of years back, we had the bronze medal. We had the heartbreak of just having the bronze. But then in that World Cup, what clicked for you guys? And your performances in particular were so dominant. I mean, you didn't lose a single game throughout. You're sweeping opponents. You beat Egypt. You beat Hong Kong. What was the success of that World Cup formula that happened?
Uh, I think it was my first time playing the World Cup as well as Velavan, who's also it was his first time, and Joshna and Abhay had played last time where they got a bronze. And um yeah, besides like on being on court, all four of us travel so much for tournaments and we really get along outside the squash court as well. And we were just all discussing the fact um that they got a bronze last year. And of course you always want to do better than what you did the last time. And we all knew that we were playing really, really well in the last couple of weeks and that all four of us together could, produce something. And we ended up doing that and it worked out really well.
Anna, yes, we did dominate the World Cup and we did win the squash event in a big, big way. But there are some quarters that are trying to pull this victory down because, for one simple reason, Egypt. Egypt didn't send their strongest team, and many are saying, "Oh, India, if they had sent the strongest team, Egypt, we would have not done well." How do you want to dispel that particular myth that is floating around? Because you've also stretched the Egyptian athletes to the full tilt, even when you played them, top ranked players.
Um, I feel like I agree with the fact that their best team wasn't sent. That's a fact. But I mean, I feel like it was up to their country and their federation as to who they send for the World Cup. And it might not be as big as it will be in the future in the next couple of editions. You don't never know what happens. And um yeah, at least as of today, India won the World Cup and that's what's written down in the books and in history. And you never know, in 10 years it might become like a huge deal and our names will still be there. So whether I feel like Egypt was the only team that didn't send their full contingent, but besides that we played Hong Kong in the final and they sent their entire team. Malaysia sent most of their entire team. And yeah, I feel like besides that, we as a team, if I'm talking about India, we played all of us together played really, really well. And I feel like even if um we had slightly tougher matches, we would have done pretty well and we would have prepared ourselves differently.
Well, Anahat, when you look at it, yes, you very rightfully put it. It was Egypt's choice that they didn't send their full squad at that strength. But then, when you look at the previous two matches, that the titles that you won, the Indian Open and you won the Chennai Tour event as well, you beat Joshna Chinnappa. Now, Joshna has been our flag bearer, our torch bearer for Indian squash for decades. It's like the clash of the titans when you first met. It was the clash of the generations, you versus Joshna. I mean, growing up, how big a influence was Joshna on your squash career and beating her not once but twice? Can you just tell us how did you like feel in that particular moments?
I mean, yeah, Joshna has had, like, I've seen her play in tournaments before I even started playing squash. I've seen her on TV. I've seen her matches when I was like 7 or 8 years old. To actually going and being in the same team as her and getting to learn so much from her because she's, like you said, she has so much knowledge and so much experience that I learn new things from her in every tournament that I play. And um, besides the court as well, we get along really well, and she's always been super helpful and super supportive if I ever need anything. And yeah, I mean, I've both times that I played her, we had really, really close games. It was down to like the last few points, actually last 2 points, and um I didn't really know what was gonna happen until the end. But I mean, I'm really grateful that I get to share the court and learn so many things from someone who has so much knowledge.
And our last couple of questions. I mean, now we are heading into the most important 3 years in the sport. 2026, because in the Commonwealth Games, there'll be squash. Asian Games, you've already had Asian success as well. But squash is going to be part of the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics as well. Now, there is a common complaint that yes, we do well in India and everything, we dominate because of the home support and the home infrastructure that we have got. But we don't tend to do well in the current situations overseas. What will be your strategy to overcome all of that in 2026 as well as in the 2028 Olympics?
Um, I feel like playing in a major games like the Asian Games and Olympics is very, very different than just going for an international tournament and playing, because obviously it's like a major games and you put so much training and so many hours into making sure that you're able to do well and hopefully get a medal. But I mean, for me personally, I don't think that there's a difference in the way that I perform in India or outside India. It remains quite the same. I mean, you're playing in the same squash court, you're playing in the same setup, and the rules are the same. So there's not much of difference besides maybe the familiarity of where you are and maybe like a few changes here and there. But I feel like everyone's going to be working really, really hard in the next couple of years because they want to make it to the Olympics and also for the Asian Games do well. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of competition. It's going to be really tough, but I'm looking forward to playing at like the big stages and getting a medal for the country as well.
Last question, Anand, when you have to look at the current state of Indian squash and also your performance as well. I mean, not just you, even Abhay is doing pretty well, even Senthil is doing pretty well. You are also in top form. Joshna is there, and she'll probably there until hopefully 2028. Are you happy with the current state of the squash progress, the talent pool, the infrastructure that is there in the country? And for you personally, are there any areas that you would want to improve? Some, I know 2025 was a dominant year for you, but some areas that you are targeting improvement heading into these three crunch years in 26, 27, and 28?
Oh, yeah, I think the infrastructure in India has improved a huge amount of time, especially in the last couple of years since I started playing squash to now. I can tell that there's a huge difference. Initially there were people who didn't even know that the sport existed, and now it's so much better in comparison to what it was before. And yeah, I think just everyone in India is doing so well. Like there's 4 or 5 of the boys players who are in the top 70 who are doing exceptionally well in the PSA. And also there's 2 or 3 girls as well who are doing really well. And I think it's been really good, at least since I started playing to now. I think this is the best I've seen Indian squash at. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think in the next couple of years until the Olympics comes up, I'm just mainly focusing on getting better physically because I feel like my game is pretty good when it and my shots are decent, but it's more like physically where I need to improve because in the last couple of years, because of my age, I didn't really do too much work in the gym or didn't focus too much on like physicality. But I think now that um it's I'm starting to improve and playing with the senior players, I'm gonna focus a bit more on that as well.
Well, Anahat, I just hope that we manifest that particular moment in 2028, wherein you are at the top of the podium in Los Angeles. But before that, there is the Asian Games, there's the Asian Championships also, and the Commonwealth, where we hope that you continue to rake in the medals. And yes, thanks to you and thanks to the whole group that is it. This is the current. Am I wrong to say that this is the current golden generation of Indian squash? Something that we've never seen before and something that we won't see a bit after.
Um, I feel like it's really, really, really good. But I mean, there was a time when there was Joshna, Deepika, Saurav, and so many, and Harry, and so many people who were playing together. And I feel like that's also considered a really good time in squash. So I wouldn't really take anything away from them. But I think from then to now, in the last couple of years, like there were 2 years in between when right now when Saurav wasn't playing, when Harry didn't stop playing, and now Deepika is also not playing anymore. So I think the last 1.5 years when there was no one who was there. I think between then and now, I think it's quite similar, but I wouldn't really say one is the golden generation and one isn't.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Anna, for your time and congratulations on a glorious, glorious 2025. It's truly been a remarkable thing to cover your achievements. And also, you're a top ranked squash player. Joshna is there. There's also Abhay, who's doing, there's also Veer, who's doing so well in that sense. So, congratulations. And once again, hope we see you have tremendous success in 2026, 2027, and 2028 as well, manifesting
Thank you.
2028 Los Angeles gold in a big way. So there you have it, folks. Anahat Singh with us on a glorious World Cup campaign. And let's see how much success she gets in squash even further. So subscribe to Sports Today, like, share, and like and share this video so that you know that our squash players are gunning for glory.